Welcome back to Toilet Talk. You know, the last couple of weeks I've been talking a lot about fear. And it's a stat that 93% of deaths when something's going around, like the swine flu or COVID, all these viral things that goes around, even AIDS, that it was more death just by the fear of getting it than actual catching whatever it might be. Toilet Nation, we got to stop being in fear. You're not where you want to be right now in your life, probably because of fear and not taking action. But why are we researching things and then saying, hey, I have that, because I could look up anything on WebMD or whatever the other websites are, and I could probably have 90 of those problems that they're saying on there. But that doesn't mean you have the issue. I think the last stat I read about some of the pandemic deaths, it was up there to like 67% of just they thought they had it. It's an old story of this train conductor saying he will freeze to death because he worked in a train railroad and it was a freezer issue. And he actually did freeze to death. But at the time, the cart wasn't working. It was actually about 90 degrees outside, but his body tucked into shock like he was on freeze to death. He told him he was on freeze to death. We can't live in these fears. We can't just look up things, Toilet Nation, and say, I have that. You probably don't. Why don't you just live day to day? Why don't you don't buy into the situation? Hear it and let it go. There's nothing wrong with you. Well, there might be something wrong with you. There's something wrong with everyone. But whatever you have, it's probably not as serious as you're making it out to be. You're stinking thinking. I think that's going to be my word for the week. Stinking thinking will get you places you don't even want to go. Toilet Nation, don't forget to flush.